Hi, and welcome back to the Wicked Thrifter Resell channel. We're off to a couple more Goodwills this week to check out some items and see if we can find anything to buy, sell, and flip on eBay for a profit. I'm checking out the vases and some of the pottery sections first. Not much is catching my eye this time. Here's a couple sets of carnival glass, teacups and saucers. I thought this was nice. Here are a couple of decanters. Thought this was an interesting pottery bottle. They call it a portrait bottle. There was no signature, so I do leave that behind. It also had a chip on the rim. And here we have a Delft hand-painted liquor bottle, I believe. It didn't have a cork and it had these cute little shoes with it. However, I had picked up a few other pieces similar to this that were more like jars. I haven't sold yet, so I was hesitant to pick it up. And I'm trying to lean towards the higher profit items and not pick up so many lower end items, as I have a ton of backstock inventory that I have yet to list. Here is a art glass fish figurine. I believe it's made by HQT. I'm not sure if that's the initials, the right order of the initials. However, it's fairly common and they wanted a lot of money. I put it in the cart initially and it goes back on the shelf before we leave. Also, I tend to pick up a lot of these brutalist like metal sculptures. This one is signed, however, it's supposed to be depicting a golfer and it is missing the golf club. You'll see it here in the comps that I'm showing. And I thought these were pretty neat. It's missing the detailing on the top. Usually it's some kind of metal flower that's applied to the glass top or the plastic top there. And this is a tissue box cover. They only wanted $4.99 for it, and I should have grabbed it in hindsight, but I was being a little picky. Probably shouldn't have. As you can see, I'm not getting very many items this shopping trip so far. This was a copper mug and had like a Mayan calendar plaque on the front of the mug. There's a lot of wear on the inside, and there's a lot of comps out there, current listings. They don't sell for a ton. Now these I probably should have grabbed, and you'll see here in a second on the comps listings why I should have. I was hesitant. You can see they were $2.99 a piece. I was getting a little squirmy on that, but here you can see current listings. Here's some current solds though, so maybe I made the right call. I don't know. You make the decision. Just a little trinket box. And this was a art glass paperweight, and I believe it was only $1.99, so I don't know why I didn't grab it, but it wasn't signed. It's fairly common, nothing very special about it, and it probably would have taken a long time to sell, so I just left that there. And this was a art pottery tile of sorts. It looked like a child's or a student pottery piece. It was well done, however. I probably could have made a few dollars on that, but I decided to leave that as well. And again, I'm not finding a lot at the store, the couple stores that we went to this time. They are putting a lot on the shelf, but not a lot of it's in my wheelhouse as far as knowing if it'll sell for a good amount or not. Here I'm checking out the vase section at another Goodwill, looking for some special pottery pieces, and I'm not finding much. I did spot this pitcher or decanter. It was missing the stopper, but it wasn't ground inside, so I wasn't quite sure if it should have come with one. They only wanted $6.99. I put it in the cart. This is what made me put it in the cart originally. It said $100, but when I went to look up comps, I couldn't find very many, and it probably would have sat for a long time. So I do end up putting that back on the shelf, as it takes up a lot of space in my shelves that I have, and right now space is at a premium. I have over 4,000 items in my eBay store right now, and the larger items can take up a lot of space that a lot of other items could fit in then if they're smaller. I liked this little pottery vase. I think the flower kind of attracted my attention as well. And I wasn't finding very many items, so I was getting a little discouraged, and I was debating if I should grab this. Definitely vintage. It was well done. I end up putting that back. I do, however, grab this little Asian art pottery vase or planter. There's got a marking there. I thought this was pretty organic looking. There's a lot of texture to it, and it could go with a lot of different themes. I spot another little hand-carved wood bird. I have plenty of these right now. One of the trips you probably saw, I grabbed a bunch of them. The smaller ones don't tend to sell fast for me, and they don't sell for a lot of money, so I end up leaving that. I spotted these trinket dishes, or I'm not sure if they're jars of some sort, but they all had a little different type of finial or handle on it. So one was a fish, one was a monkey, I believe another was a frog. I do end up leaving those 3 jars there. I'm just checking out the candle section. A more modern votive holder. Here was a little puppet. I picked up a few of these a while back too, so I was debating of adding it to my current listing. I do end up putting that back in here. I finally spot something worthwhile and taking it home. I was a little bummed that it was $19.99. However, these little pottery lamps, especially the more vintage or florals, they tend to sell fairly well and they're easy to ship. So I grabbed that. Here's a little glass angel lamp. I do leave that behind, but I grabbed the lamp. And I was super lucky to find another one. This one actually is way nicer than the first. It's actually signed by the artist. And it has the blue iris pattern, which is desirable for people. It's a speckled stoneware. It's handmade. They wanted $39.99 for that. I had to think hard if I was going to take that with or not. But I know I can at least double my money. So I grabbed it, especially with the slim pickings and not grabbing a lot. I also swooped up this little handmade brooch art framed piece. I'm hesitant to list it. I do like to sell jewelry as well, and sometimes you can save a piece of jewelry by harvesting some rhinestones and whatnot from those pieces. This I was tempted to grab. It's like a gemstone tabletop globe, but they wanted $10.99, so that goes back. I found this quite interesting. I believe it's End of the Trail, but it is a water globe, and I don't know if you call those or snow globes, but I left that there. I don't want to take a chance of shipping liquids if I can avoid it. I thought about grabbing this. It's an ironwood sculpture of a seahorse. Here's some comps. I ended up putting it back because at $8.99, the profit margin there, especially if you take an offer, is very low. Here is my mistake of the day. I don't 100% know how well this would have done. I didn't grab it because it was $14.99 and it's a teapot, and teapots can sit. But here you can see there was a comp for $100 sold on WorthPoint, and the other one is a current listing of $155. I probably should have grabbed it, and I should have put it in my cart, and I should have listed it on eBay just to see how it goes. I may not have gotten the $155, but that's still a good profit return if you can get even $100 for it. Here's an art glass pumpkin, but it is modern and it didn't have good quality to it. And that's a wrap. I didn't find much on this trip, but I do thank you for taking your time to watch the videos. Here's your recap, and I'll see you in the next video.